Big tonight, Caribbean leaders and other top officials from around the region have been meeting in Grenada on the southern end of Grenada's capital, St. George's, fine-tuning their climate change agenda for a major international conference this year. We lead off from St. George's tonight.
After a three-decade struggle, some of the world's most climate-harmed countries have been promised more funding to help for the devastation caused by global warming. The problem at this stage is that most of the funding promised has not arrived. And that issue is one of the prime ones being looked at during the second regional meeting of the heads of government of the Caribbean in preparation for COP28 coming up in Dubai later this year. These countries, Caribbean nations among them, are pleading to the industrial north to start delivering on their promises.
We must call on our partners in the north to deliver on the commitment they made at COP15 in Copenhagen to mobilize $100 billion per year by 2021.
Grenadian-born Simon Still, the United Nations Executive Secretary on Climate Change, acknowledged that small island states and other vulnerable countries are getting worried about just the talk.
An idea, there's a lot of talk about the $100 billion that is supposed to be delivered this year, per year, for developing countries. The amount that's actually required it's now 6 years, basically, to 2030, where our target is to reduce global emissions by 43%, is $6 trillion. That's what, as a global community, we need to find.
Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell says empathy and solidarity on the issue of climate change is good, but it must go beyond that.
It is about, in the words of the famous actor Tom Cruise, show me the money. It is about showing us the money. And we use the word operationalize the funding. That sounds like a big term to me if I'm an average guy. It's simple. Show me the money. Give us the money.
The Grenadian leader had its own issue on how the funding mechanism should work.
CARICOM is well placed to manage the trust funds. OASIS is well placed to manage the trust funds. SIDS is well placed to manage the trust fund. No disrespect to our development partners. The trust fund doesn't have to be in Germany. It doesn't have to be in South Korea. It could be with us. And that is what we're asking for.
The Bahamian Prime Minister said too much is at stake if there are no tangible results soon.
As COP28 approaches, it is crucial that we, the developing countries on the front lines of the climate crisis, hold the developed world to account. Whether they honor their commitments could mean the difference between a mere disturbance and another Dorian, that devastating Category 5 superstorm, the likes of which my country had never seen and is still recovering from.
As the region seeks to hammer out coordinated approaches to the many issues facing them on the climate change agenda, the discussions here went late into the afternoon. They are to resume early Friday, at which Barbados leader Mia Mottley and Dominica's Roosevelt Skerritt are expected to join. They were scheduled to arrive in St. George's late Thursday. I am Nakita Wells with the Carib Update News Service for Primetime Caribbean.